Hello guys and welcome back to Growing Up Awkward. We're going to talk about my middle school and high school situation in this episode. Alright, middle school. So what I've done in middle school is I've carried over some of my other friends that I made before. The two that I've been sticking with, we've been like a awesome trio for the past couple of years, maybe just a year, I'm not really sure. But as soon as we hit 7th grade, apparently I became the annoying one just because I wasn't the one who was doing the things that they were doing, like becoming more active in certain ways where I thought that I was not old enough nor mature enough or mentally, together enough to, do those things, If you know what I'm talking about, if you know what I'm talking about, So I just didn't want to do those things, and which was strange because they also called me a follower or something they find different ways to make me feel bad about wanting to be their friend and things of that nature. The friendship did not last. It just cut off then. Like at 7th grade, or like maybe it was 6th grade that happened. In like 7th grade, I would see them and I would still say hi. I wasn't, too salty. I understood that I am a clingy person, so I'm not even gonna lie, I'm a clingy person, so I never really faulted them too much for not being, into me being constantly clingy. And at the same time, I would always advise against them doing weird things, like inappropriate things for their age, like any type of drinking or sexual activity. Basically, I'm just gonna say it now. I've already let you guys know what I'm talking about. So I was always kind of either the naggy mom person or like just the too young, I guess. Though I was very mature, I knew what I did and didn't want to do, and what I would rather the outcome for their lives be, for them not to be seen as, particular people, because they were never that type of person. But as soon as people find out that you're doing those type of things at this age, they start to call you all types of names, and I knew that, so I wanted to advise them against that, but to them it was a bit more annoying. So yeah, around 7th grade, I realized that I could not patch up the friendship that we had, and that also happened to be the time around, because I'm going to put this out there because has nothing to do with the way I made friends, but it definitely impacted how I was, behaving in life. My dad had started to get very sick from cancer. He had cancer for some time now, but it wasn't something that was impacting him too badly. But this is around the time where it was getting to the point where it was definitely affecting his health, to the point where he was going in for chemo, and you could physically see certain changes. It was slow at first, but then it got very, very obvious. But this is around the time where it was in the back of my mind. I tried not to think about it, but it was in the back of my mind, and I was just, it was slowly but surely depressing me more and more. So 7th grade went with me kind of going the way I usually went back in my old days, just being the quiet kid, sitting by myself as much as possible at lunch. But I did find a group of friends, of people I was cool with. I knew their names. I didn't really know their ages or their birthdays, but I knew their entire full names, their voices, their personalities, so I would hang with them. We wouldn't hang out like super, crazy. We would just talk a little bit, and we were comfortable around each other. I just wanted to find somebody I was comfortable to sit with at lunchtime or in classes if we had classes. And so that's how it was. We never really got that much closer than that. Even in the 8th grade, because I definitely had to switch classes in the 7th grade, because I think the depression had definitely made it so that, I think it might have been the depression that did this to me. I realized that me zoning out in math class was definitely affected my grades, because so while the teacher was teaching, I would just zone out. I had no control out of it. It was like me daydreaming, but it was nothingness. It was like I was asleep and I had no dream. That's what it was, but I was awake the whole time. And then I would only zone back in when it was time for us to do work. And for maybe the first 2 weeks, I was able to cope with it, but then after that, I no longer knew what the heck we were doing. So then I got to the point where my grades were slipping and I didn't know what was going on, and I couldn't finish things, and I couldn't ask for help because I was too shy and I was going through too much mental stress right at that time that I couldn't do anything about it. So I had to switch classes, and I was met again with more people who weren't fond of me. Not a lot of people were fond of me. They knew of me, they knew my face, and they might have known my name, but not a lot of people did because, again, I was very quiet, so I wasn't, out there like that. Even when I was with my trio of friends, like, I wasn't that loud. Out of all of us, it wasn't me that was, the one who got attention. So 8th grade, my dad got very, 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 very sick to the point where he did not look the same at all. And somewhere near the end of 8th grade, at this point my grades were doing fine. I was doing better. I was able to focus more. But I was dealing with so much stress. But because there's nothing I can do at this age. I am like 13 and 12 and 13, and there's not much I can do. But this isn't the worst that he's been, so, it gets worse. So he was fine enough to drive me to school and, but I would rather walk to school. I started just walking to school because I didn't want my dad to have to deal with the bull crap that is driving, because my dad I'm pretty sure he was legally blind, but he could drive fine. But then as soon as he got sicker and sicker, it was affecting him worse and worse, and the car was getting older and older, and it was all just degrading horribly. So 8th grade was basically fine, I guess. Nothing really changed. I didn't make any more friends. Just was dealing with a little bit more and more stress. Then there's 9th grade, where we break into high school. Hey, high school, we made it. High school, where there was new people. I would know maybe a total of 3 people in this school because they went to the same school as me. And I went to this school because it was around the corner from my house. So I made friends. That was cool. I also made enemies that were my enemy, and I'm not exactly sure why to this day. I've been told a reason, but I do not remember this thing happening. So the situation in which the person was mad at me about, I legitimately do not remember for the life of me happening, and so I felt like they would get over it, but they never got over it, like till senior year. To this day, I'm pretty sure they have a grudge against me about something I don't remember. So I made 2 friends, 2 light-skinned friends, but, well, I guess I made one real, legit friend. We were often asked if we were sisters or twins, but we definitely were not. We were just light-skinned and had glasses and brown hair that was not very long, because this is before weave. So I made that one friend. I'm just going to tell you the rest of 9th grade, and then my battery is going to get charged. Okay, so 9th grade, I made crushes. I had crushes on people that definitely did not want to notice me, did not notice me, and was considering themselves out of my league. And I was like, I don't care, I'm gonna make you love me. But that's not how it worked, because I'm still shy and I still didn't talk to them at all, and I just kind of looked at them often. And okay, so in this one year, I both gained 2 friends and lost those 2 friends. Well, I gained 3 friends and then lost 2. Basically because one person was talking smack about a completely different person, and once another person told that person that they were talking smack about, they didn't want to own up to it, and so then they got salty with the person who told, instead of, owning up to their own mistakes of talking smack about somebody and not being prepared to, get them hands. So at first I was going to choose my 2 original friends over that one person, separate them. But then I decided I wanted to say F this person because they're salty about this one situation, and I'm going to be friends with this person. First I was very mean to her, but then I realized you don't have to be an asshole. She's a cool person. I like her. and she's still very strong towards me anyway. So both of them, I told her what I was thinking and I was gonna be her friend, and she was like, yeah, okay. But I guess this is bull crap about Geminis. I don't think all Geminis are really like that, but like apparently that's the way it was. So them two split off from me, and I was left with this one friend, which I'm still friends with today, even though she is going through some crazy stuff. She's in college being whatever the heck it is she's being. So, yeah. At the same time, my father was yet still getting sick to the point of, well, he had an operation. I don't know why he had an operation, but this degraded him to the point where he had, not only did he not have any hair, but then he lost a lot of function in his brain because he had lung cancer. I don't know what they were doing in his brain. Whatever it was, I didn't like it because it seemed like they just wanted to degrade him faster rather than actually fix anything. And that's what it seemed to do because he died that year. So I had the death of my father at the end of 9th grade, and that sent me into a spiraling depression. But luckily, even though my friend didn't know it, and even though my cousins, who I had not really mentioned, but they've been a part of my life the entire time, and they've been literally there for me my entire life, and even my friends from the neighborhood were there for me because they all knew what I was going through. My friend from school, she didn't. I told her, but like she didn't grasp it. But everybody else was there for me enough that I did not go into a spiraling depression, just a slow, gentle spiral. Now, the rest of high school is going to be in another video because my battery is dying. I'm sorry, guys. It's already long enough anyway, so hope you guys enjoyed, and I will get another episode up for you. I'm sorry, there's an ant. I don't know how it got on my camera, but it's on my camera, and my camera's on a tripod 4 feet away from the ground. Okay, bye.
Smoking on that dojo.